Is October 31st, 2023. Again, today. Today I went into Olive Garden in North Canton. As I walk in, men are talking off around like the bar area and said, Will realized it was some terrorist doing this. I thought, where you been? Okay? And when you realize she's never talked to anybody, it's really not funny. Okay? Alright. Alright, so I go in and I sit down with my client. Girls come in and sit behind me. We pull that recording. He did admit that he talked to that family. None of this is funny. Oh yeah, on a recorded line he does. When he bullies me to say you're fake and you're sick, I had that family here. I talked to him how the comment about you being fake and you were sick, it devastated their life and ruined their whole life. A comment somebody made and they lied to him, it ruined their life, not their kid getting killed in a traffic accident, just because somebody made a comment about me? They didn't realize they were playing him? Because them saying something about me made absolutely jack shit about their situation. I told you, if they would have told my neighbor Becky that lost her husband Harry, she would have laughed. Had nothing to do with Harry dying. And it's that abusive disorder, the sociopath disorder, wanting you to feel sorry for someone by bringing somebody else into something it had nothing to do with it. It's an abusive disorder. It's an anti-personality disorder. Wanting pity by blaming somebody else. It's an abusive disorder. And he's trying to know that. Okay? And then, there's another lady with a guy. I see her today. They even let them torture her so they could get all kinds of big bad guys while they went after her. Well, they said she couldn't say anything. Well, what part of those other girls said? They already confessed they talked to him on a recorded line. Absolutely. And it was verified by the Norton Barberton police. It was the agent that called me back, telling me to that church before I called him back, and he admitted flat out he talked to the Vegas. And mocked me. You either say you're making her sick or I won't help it, but I was really sick. It's stupid. I was sick for years. It took me almost a year to get well. Okay? And I told you they made up that scam in 2003, and if Danny wouldn't have tried to kill himself, and then the social workers involved, and the social workers in Stark County threatening him, they were probably going to use that excuse to kill me in 2003, but they had to back off real quick because the social workers in Stark County said they'd take care of them themselves. See what I mean? They just waited and used that excuse later. Some guy around me today said, do you realize there's no way those doctors, when she swelled up that bad, didn't realize it wasn't a medication error? How much you want to bet with everything that's going on, they paid off those doctors? And it took another doctor to actually tell them that they were the ones making her sick, because they almost killed her with a medication error. Yeah. Good. Because somebody starts swelling, it's a loaded reaction. Now, it just never ends. See, they can't even ask you, like my friend from the prosecutor's office in Stark County, he can't even ask you, stay quiet. You're in the informant program. You're part of the witness protection program. They can never let you go. They can hire someone else to kill you. Informants are a little different. You stay as yourself and get them information. They owe you for risking your life. If you work 5 minutes a case, an hour case for the rest of your life, that money. And you stay in immunity for helping the government get information on people. It's not like the other part of the witness protection program where you just get out a statement and they hide you. You stay yourself getting them information. So they have to protect you the rest of your life. So they can't hire someone else to kill you, and they owe you the rest of your life that money. The Department of Justice will put them in jail if they try to adopt you. You'll stay an informant unless they put you in another witness protection program. That's the only thing they can do. And that agent didn't have enough authority to ask you to stay quiet. He was only bullying you. You got to think, even teenagers said that would be a no way out. You couldn't even ask the police for help. Okay? He was only bullying you when he did that. He never had any kind of authority. I said, well, they already knew. With his own confession on a recorded line, he talked to the Vegas. You either say you were faking you were sick. I was really sick. It's stupid. It's a documented medication error after a bunch of surgeries almost killed me. And I have proof. I have MRI reports showing the swelling, blood work showing everything shut down, false diagnoses, fentanyl patches, scars everywhere. It's the stupidest lie on earth. But they, strange me enough, that lie, when my sister caught her husband cheating, they thought it was me. And they discredited me real quick and got rid of me. And I think they were going to use that excuse to kill me. And it makes you wonder, with those doctors not pulling me off that medication, if they didn't pay them off too. Dave already had someone else. That occult's very evil. Very, very evil. I told you I'd do a statement again of everything that happened. I'll go through it real quick. 2017, we had got a 10-something loan for fixing up our house so we could move out to the country. We put $4,500 in the back driveway. $2,000 in the upstairs bathroom. He took $500 back. He got an $1,800 bonus, and all that money disappeared. It was like $6,000. My car started getting scratched long ways. Dave worked midnights. We'd lived there 25 years, and I'd stay up renovating the house, talking to him, scraping wallpaper, plastering walls, and painting. It took me months to fix it up. My sons and my grandchildren helped me fix it up because he worked 2 jobs, and so I'd work on the house. I could hear voices outside, and I'd get up, my car would be scratched up, so we got a security system if they're that close to the house. Okay? I had my 50th birthday. Everybody was there. It was nice. Okay? Come September, my oldest and his wife that had broke up 1,000,000 times over 10 years and got back together, broke up again. And he said they were going back to that church to fix their marriage. I'm like, they'll break up for good. Oh, they're not like that. Yes, they are. Okay, come October, Dave, my ex-husband, we were married. He was leaving to work early. I tried to get Dixie to follow my daughter-in-law. Thank God she didn't. He called me one night, Karen, I'm in trouble. I said, why is that? He said, I crashed a machine. I said, so? He said, you don't realize I'm in trouble. I have to have a drug test. We don't do drugs. And I said, so? He said, you don't understand. I'm in trouble. I got caught with pot in the system. Got suspended for a week. Okay? Now, I had been winterizing our house, and it was a 1938 house, and we had blacktop right around the base of the house, and I would tar it every year. Well, we had 1938 windows on the basement and the plexiglass on the outside. They could have pulled the plexiglass off, pushed the window open, slid down, and opened up, turn off the electric and come up and kill me. But that day, I tarred and the plexiglass sealed tight. Couldn't get the old hose off, so I popped it up with a rake. He gets home, we get in bed, and we hear pop, pop, bang, bang. The puppies are screaming in their kennels in the basement. I'm like, you can go check. He's like, no. And I'm like looking out the windows. I said, what on earth was all that noise? I don't know. I said, aren't you going to go check? No. And I keep looking out the windows. I don't see anything. The puppies calm down. I climb back in bed and I wait for the security system to go off. Nothing happens, so I finally fall asleep. Next morning, the tenants pull down. They look like they fell over the rake, disarrayed everything, and the plexiglass is cracked and not pulled off. We called the Perry police. It makes no sense. Why wouldn't they go through an upstairs window? Dave told them they knew where the security system was. The cop get in his face. You're part of it. And I'm standing there with my mouth open. And he says a bunch of other stuff. And he incriminates himself. And I'm like, sir, would you just drive by? He's like, oh, ma'am, we'll be driving by. And I'll be checking on you. And he storms off. Okay? Well, Christmas, my oldest son, John, his kids wanted bikes for Christmas. And I knew with her family being up from Florida, they couldn't come over. So we took them over there. They weren't home. We called them. We got permission to leave them in the house. And we put great big name tags we tied to them. Left their gift cards. We came back either later that day or the next day, and they were having a buffet dinner. Went in and talked just for a minute, asking like the bikes, why would we thank you? Another lady in the church bought them for us. And then they make fun of Dave for having pot in his system. Okay? Come March, our house is up for sale. Bill German is our realtor. He's not always in the area, and he let me show it. I had talked to Dave most of that morning and cleaned up the house. I said, I got over an hour and a half before I have to show it. I'm going to drive out to Bell and get some air in my face and get some coffee. He's like, let me know when you're ready. I said, well, give me about 10 minutes. So I go ahead and I get changed. And I said, hey, I'm going to leave. He's like, Karen, I want you to go Lincoln Way. I said, Dave, I always go down to Bailey to go behind Watson or Bailey to Genoa. Why would I want to go up and back down? He said, I said, go Lincoln Way. And he started screaming at me. And I said, fine, I'll go. I've lived there 25 years. I can jump Lincoln Way. I go, and it's open. I'm like, sweet, because it's a 5-lane highway. And I jumped 5 lanes. There's a car sitting at the next road at Avis. It jumps 5 lanes and gets right behind me. I move over. He moves over. And I'm like, that's where the other lane's still open. I go down to turn at Genoa. He goes to turn. And it clicks in my head. They knew where the security system was. I just got a bigger SUV. And I thought, if he's following me, I'll turn back at Bailey. And I'll call the police or find somebody home. I got stuck at the corner of Bailey and Genoa. I have my foot on the brake, the wheel turned left, 1 car goes by, 2 cars go by. He hits me and gets stuck between me and the building. The Perry police shows up and said the way he hit you, he would have rolled you if you wouldn't have had your foot on the brake. He had to be doing over 45 too. I can't let you go home. I know it's something and I can't prove it. Maybe call David, had him come home. I go over to my daughter-in-law, Jet. Her friend Kaylee's there. She's like, well, you know about Savannah. I said, I know of Savannah, but I've never had trouble with her family. What do you mean you don't know her? I said, why would her? Her family went up there a long time ago. She's like an 18, 19-year-old kid. I said, I see her sitting with her family, but I don't know her. Why would I? And she's looking at me like I'm stupid. She said, well, you know, her ex-boyfriend was big in drugs. Well, what does that have to do with it? That is the question. What does that have to do with it? She's looking at me like I'm stupid. I go to help Terry clean out her apartment. Worked hours on it. Had bought her totes, organizing everything, because we're going to be moving. She gives me the extra boxes. She's walking me out. The white van pulls up. Side door goes open. Tall white man, black hair. Jeans, white tennis shoes, grayish white hoodie. Hood goes up over his head. I got her. I'm like, go back in the building. She picks up her walker and takes off running. I already had the door open and the boxes in my hand. I throw them in. I slam it down and run around my car. Look up, make sure she got in the building. Look back. He's still bolting at me. I jump in and start my car. Throw it in reverse. He hits the back of my car. She got away and he lunges around the building and I scream and I pull off and she's like, okay. And the van chases me for a while and I finally lose him. Okay. That's the kidnapper for the human traffickers. He killed my friend or my coworker, Lori's family member. There was a big bounty on his head, and they went on to take my house manager and release his niece. He's a wanted serial killer in this area. That's who they hired. Okay. They kept changing dates of closing up both houses. So we put our stuff in storage. I found a reasonable place in Green and put the other stuff at my son Danny's. Okay. And I figured I could always slowly unload it into our new home. Okay, we were lucky enough to close on both houses the same day. The second day, we had made several trips, and we went down to my son Danny's, got a load in the truck and trailer, and filled up my car. Went down to Maslin Walmart. My oldest son John and his kids are in there, and they're little. They come running at us. Guamo Popo, what you doing here? We're buying curtains for the basement. What are you doing? I don't know. Past each other in a moment in time. We go out and there's a white car sitting near mine. And he's like, I'm going to follow you. And I said, well, okay, I don't have to worry about something falling out at me. So on the narrow way back from Walmart Maslin to Maslin, uh, the white car had pulled out ahead of me. And all of a sudden, it turns completely sideways. It blocks the whole road. I'm like, Dave, this guy just blocked the whole road. And he starts stepping out. Jeans, cowboy boots, tall white man, black hair. The same profile as that car. He goes to reach back in like he's going to grab something off the dashboard. I said, Dave, I think I'm getting carjacked. I look up and I said, Dave, where'd you go? Oh, I turned down the side road. Okay. And I'm throwing it backwards. What? My car in reverse. What do you mean you went down the side road? You already turned. And I started throwing it in reverse. I'm screaming at him, where are you? And by the grace of God, another car with headlights, but was right in that guy's face. He steps back in, straightened his car, and peeled out of there. I wailed. I straightened up my car and peeled out. He didn't catch up to me for 12 miles. He told my daughter-in-law, Dixie, he knew I was getting carjacked and left me on purpose. Okay. All right. On the 6th day we're up there, we get home from the storage unit. The door is kicked into the wall. You can line up the doorknob where it hit the wall. I had to patch it. I sanded it real good, but it's still there. Don't report it. Another man's probably, or another realtor passed out keys. I already took it out of the lockbox. They don't pass out keys, legal issues. We've been off the market for 6 days. That's when they're supposed to set up their button cameras. Okay. By the next week, I went out to mow the lawn. Now I mowed the lawn at Lennox like it was nothing. I already had bruises on me and I couldn't figure out where I'm getting so banged up. Because I moved all this stuff in the storage unit and I wasn't this banged up. Where am I getting this banged up? And I've been getting dizzy and headaches. Okay? And throwing up. I go out to mow the lawn and I literally almost collapse in the yard. The neighbor next door comes running over. I'm a nurse. Can I help you? I don't know what's wrong with me. My heart's beating through my neck. I'll mow your lawn for you. I don't have money to pay you. Neighbors don't pay each other. I said I'd feel bad. And he does small talk. I finally let him do it, and I get in the house, and I can't hardly stand. I've been drug being raped and drugged up and told to say stuff. Kept happening on and off. I'm going to all my family physicians. I don't know what's wrong with me. My head's pounding. I've been throwing up. I got these marks on me, and they're like, "Did you fall?" No. And I said, "My muscles even hurt. We'll get you some muscle relaxers, some iron pills. Maybe you're going to need my." I said, "I even have a personal infection. I can't hardly pee." So they're treating all the symptoms of being drug, being raped, because somebody's doing it in my home. They're not putting it together that some sexual predator is human trafficking me out of the house and drugging me up and telling me, say, stop stalking me because I didn't die. They decided to frame me instead. And it kept happening. Okay? September 3rd to 6th of 18. We're out and everything's done. But the flower beds. And he's out there screaming at me, I want these flower beds done. Now I had cleaned out the back canopy area. I had raked the backyard to the front. Several car lengths wide because we had a septic tank put in and they tore everything up and he went pay for dirt to be dropped and I had to break all those loose rocks out, plant grass, all the pine bushes along the side of the yard. I did the flower beds. I did the flower beds around the new septic tank. I planted all that grass seed. I worked weeks on that house. It's hot. And I'm like, Dave, just drop the mulch. I'll do it next week. I'd rather have Katie than you. I'm like, whoa, you want another woman? I'll take my things and leave. He's like, you're not allowed to leave, Jack. And I had this plan since March. Well, he's crazy. He has something planned, your dad. So I go out and I get a job at Hired at Advanced America. September 17th or 18th of 18, I'm already hired as an assistant manager. They're sending me up to Twinsburg. And on the way up there, she sends me to Streetsboro. So I pull over and put in my GPS. I go out. And I have my interview. And we only had 3 cameras on the outside of the house. 1 to the side yard, front porch, and back porch. We only started laying a camera on the boat with an extension cord the end of September. Um, when people pull in and look at me and leave, I get up from the chair from the front porch and they pull out. They were stalking me. I'm like, what on earth is going on? So we start putting the camera hidden under the boat. Okay? Well, at that time, we didn't have anything. I'm at the end of the long driveway. He can't see me. I have nothing to trace me on my phone. He calls me, Karen, why won't you go in the house? No, I had been talking to my mom trying to get off the phone with her so I can get the mail across the street. He's like, I said, Dave, you home? He's like, no, I'm at work. I said, Dave, that's not funny. There's no one around. I live 10 miles out of town. I said, Dave, that's not funny. He said, Karen, I know you're at the end of the driveway. Why won't you go in the house? I said, Dave, that's not funny. Why wouldn't you think I'm somewhere else? And he calls me, what's your problem? I said, what do you mean, what's my problem? She's telling me I'm rude to somebody I never met. And I tried to tell her she sent me to the other store. I hang up on her, call my mom back. She's like, Karen, he's up to something. I know. Okay? So I go up there the next day and I want to meet the person who cost me a job. They verify it wasn't me and she tries to give me back my job back and it's too weird. Michelle Kagi lives right next to 128 Lenox. She told me that there was 2 men watching my house before we left for a long time and sit at the end of the driveway, take off and come back, and they've been stalking me for a while. I said, if I'd known that, I'd call someone. He had people positioned at Lenox. But I never left my house except for randomly. Go get my grandkids, go do something with it. I was always working on that house. See what I mean? All right. So I've known Sarah from sales for years. Her older manager's a blonde lady, older blonde lady. There was a girl with brown hair and brown eyes had went from sales to Ashcroft and Oak to work with Katie. I've known them for years, and Sarah was still at sales. All 3 of them came up and said, Katie's telling everybody in the mall it's them trying to kill you, that her church has a permanent plan to do away with you. You need to call the police and detectives. She can't say that. No, that's conspiracy to commit murder and accessory to attempt. She can't say that. You need to call the police or a detective. She's telling everybody in the mall it's them trying to kill you. Okay? So I called Terry and I'm talking to her. And she still don't know I know. Trust me, I've never forgotten. She's like, Karen, I have you on speaker. I'm watching this kid for $10 an hour. The mom's gonna be here soon. And she's here clanging and banging. And I hear knocking. She's like, Karen, I'll let you go. Well, I thought, is that the lady that cost me my job? I'm gonna listen for a second. I thought, wonder if that's like Dave's girlfriend. I'll catch him. Instead, I missed that one by a mile. She walks over to the door. You could hear her open it. Guess who I was on the phone with? You're kidding. I almost tricked her into coming down to prayer where those 2 men would show up and take care of her. You know they pay people to know where she's at. I could have used the money. It's not like anybody in the church would ever help her. I actually told her I'd step in for prayer for her, as if I couldn't believe it came out of my own mouth. Well, that's about as bad as Kaylee. She said that Keith charged too much money, and so she hired another minister. Well, you know who's in that meeting to hire those 2 men to kill her? It was Keith Bishop, Strange, and Ron. They took up $25,000 to have her murdered because Ron wants her dead because she got wealthier. His kid died. Goes back to Strange's lie. And I told you, I think he made up that lie because they were going to come in 2003 and it went completely wrong. My son tried to kill himself, and then the social worker stepped involved and threatened to put him all in jail. And they just waited and used the same excuse 15 years later. Okay? Because why would you want somebody dead because somebody made a comment about him? It had nothing to do with your kid's death. That's stupid. That's very stupid. Okay? All right. David holds me down September 20th or 21st of 18. I love you, but I love her more. I'm so sorry, Karen. I hired a man to slit your throat, stab you in the heart. You bleed out, Karen. But I have a man to put a bullet in your femur. For 30 minutes, he's pushing my face into the bed, climbing on top of me, rubbing my bed, squeezing and kissing. He was very much awake. Tried to claim it was a vivid dream, and he kept pushing my face in the bed, and if I was afraid if I moved, he'd finish smothering me with his own bare hands. I had to lay there in the cold dark night while he did that to me. He rolled over and got up and went to work. I called my son John. I said, "What on earth is going on?" "I don't know, Mom, but I would have punched him." I said, "I was afraid he'd finish pushing my head into that bed and I'd die." He smothered me with his own bare hands. He's like, "Mom, I don't know what's going on." Okay? September 21st, 18. I go to Ravenna Giant Eagle. I'm walking around. I have bruises on me. I've lost 18 pounds over the summer from throwing up and been seen by the doctor all summer long for being drugged, being raped. And they're not putting it together what's happening because they're doing it in my own home. Okay? I'm looking around. How stupid am I? It's been them the whole time. Why didn't I figure it out? Now I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I know nobody. I look up, they're giving flu shots. I better get a flu shot. Dave calls me because I can't afford to get sick. Dave calls me, "Where you at? I'm buying something for dinner." I got a phone call to make. "Please don't go." He won't answer his phone when I call him back. I got my flu shot. I got dizzy. I sat down on the bench. I heard the voice. "I can't believe she's here. It's the same one as I got her and she got away." I'm like, "Oh my God, he's here from Maslin," and I'm scanning. I'm panicking at that point. I stand up. I'm so dizzy. I almost pass out. He comes up behind me. "I stab you right here and now if it wasn't for that security guard." And I had to catch my breath. And because I was already dizzy, and she's like, "Are you gonna stab her and get it over with? I won't make it for that security guard." And I turn my cart real quick in the bank. I want to open an account. And up walks the Pizza Hut lady to the mail banker. "I get paid to watch her." He said, "Lady, I mean it, stay out of it." He's like, "No, I get paid to watch her." And he's like, "Lady, I mean it won't be worth it." And then he's screaming at her like a banshee. And she goes to walk off, and I look over, and the guy that tried to kidnap me, tried to carjack me, just threatened to knife me, walks off, and David instantly calls me. And I put him on hold and won't let him know he did it. And I'm frozen fear as that mail banker slamming stuff on the thing, and they took off because I figured they probably thought he was going to call the cops. They got my account over real quick. I look up, and a group of people is there, and I get in the middle, get out my car, and I panic, and I drive 20 miles away down to Walmart 62. I get out, and an African-American lady spits in my face. Her and her white boyfriend are harassing me. I go in, there's another older guy. Now he's older, he's white with black hair, black eyes, and an eagle tattoo. And I told you I thought he had contacts because he had no light in his eyes. What a shame. And just kept staring at me like a dead animal. And wouldn't move and just kept staring at me. And I got away from that break. Got home, Dave's like, "Come to the end of the driveway. My girlfriend's rich and powerful. Her family owns the police. You won't be able to withstand." I told him it's not a communist country. Nobody owns the police. I had been married 33 years. It took a day and I prayed. I poured my heart out to God. What to do? If I don't pick up that phone, I'll die. It's by the grace of God am I alive. And now they're here and they're breaking, they're going to kill me. If I don't pick up that phone, I'll die. The day I pick up that phone, I can never forgive him. And I can never go back or he'll kill me. It was the hardest thing I ever did. Emotionally. It was called up here. Crying my eyes out to him. "We'll have an agent call you back." Next morning, they dragged me up so bad. I couldn't wake up all the way. I could hear the phone ringing. I had rivers of tears running down my face. I was wiping them. I kept saying, "I can't." And I passed back out. And I let it go to voicemail. Wake up later, who was that? Go to listen, this is agent, call me back. I can't. And fall back to sleep. Holding on to the walls, trying to go to the bathroom, staggered to the refrigerator, trying to get something to drink, get back in bed, rivers of tears. I can't. And fall back to sleep. Next day, I'm not much better. The third day, I made myself get up and I'm holding my head on the front porch. I feel like I'm drunk and I don't drink. It's a sign of being repeat. when it wears off. I gotta call that guy back. I gotta get air in my face. I'm too afraid to leave. They're watching me. So I start mowing the lawn. Just so I wouldn't have to leave the property and I could pay. And about halfway through, I thought of Sarah. I call her Corsica and I'll witness for you. So I went out and got a card, put that agent's number from the voicemail in it, made an excuse when Dave got home to go to the mall. Dropped it off her manager, put it in her locker. Went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Paymer got in Dave's space. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off as he's screaming, "How dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life?" Okay? Women walk off as I walk up to me as I had walked off. He knows she's being drug beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. I'm covered in bruises. My personal area is infected. And I've lost 18 pounds and had a headache. And I thought, is that what's going on? And my heart sinks down in my stomach. I go in and I sit down. And they come in and they say it again. Said he knows she's being drug beaten, raped. And he said he didn't care. If she was going to be thinking she was sick and thinking she got well, while that family was screaming, he didn't care what they did to her. Can you imagine an agent saying that? No, I cannot imagine a police officer saying that. I can't. Or any just man. Dave comes in, let's go. He's like, got it. We get out in the truck, I gotta kill you myself. And he starts punching me in the trunk and reaching for a loaded gun in the couch. I put my hand out, he knocks it off. And he's swerving all over the highway and I almost jumped off. We got home, I ran from him. The next day I called that agent back. I tell him someone told on me to that church. He called me a liar. It was verified by the Norton Barberton police. It was the agent that returned my call. Yeah, I was up there telling on me. Police officers seen him. And they've told everybody else. He was up there and he said those things. Okay? I tell him what happened at Giant Eagle. You liar. Was there a camera above the bench? I don't know. He's like, I said he tried to kidnap me before. He's like, you liar. You either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I said, but he did try to kidnap me before. Now he's here. He's like, you either say that or I'll put you in jail. Do you know if there's a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. Then you say you're lying or I'll arrest you. Fine, whatever. Obstruction to justice, tampering with witnesses and evidence. Instant jail for that shit. He just let a serial killer go. I told him, he said, now I want you to confess you weren't sick. I went to documented medication error. Almost killed me. I said I was really sick before. He's like, I have that family, and I've talked to him. I've had him in my office. I've talked to him, and how that comment of them saying you were fake and you were sick, it devastated their life and ruined their life, and that they have been da 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 da, and how it ruined their life. Not that their kid got killed in a traffic accident, but because somebody said something about me that had nothing to do with it. Are you joking me, right? They were playing him. It's part of the antisocial psychopathic disorder and making up stuff to get sympathy. Out of something you don't deserve sympathy for and wanting to hurt somebody has nothing to do with it. He's trained to see that. They weren't upset their kid died in 2003 and that devastated their life, but because somebody made up a shitty lie on me and ruined their whole life? Are you fucking kidding me? I was really sick before. He's like, you either say it or I won't help you. I'll leave you there. I'm fine. Please don't let him kill me. You either say it or I won't help you. Fine. Like a drunken cat on a bar. He admits he met with the Beckons. 100%. People were talking about it today in Olive Garden and in Walmart. He does say he met with them. right? And then he's like, now give me a reason why the FBI should help a person like you. They're going to try to kill me. So, it's a sworn duty. I said they've tried to kill me. So, it's a sworn duty. Give me a real reason. Then they yell out my rapist's name. Okay? He yells out. Some other guy yells out, well, we could use Pete's tape. Weird with yourself. The shower scene undone on purpose to make you look weird. May 26, 22. May 26, 22. Shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. It's photoshopping of washing in the other room. I don't even know who Pete is. He's the cause of the bruises, the infected, throwing up, the serial rapist that's stalking me that my ex-husband said he hired on his own. He's making, some guy was complaining walking out Olive Garden. I've listened to this online, and I'll tell you what, that idiot making fun of her for some serial rapist doing a scam on her and talking to her like that. Yeah. I don't even know who Pete is. I said, what is he talking about? Only Pete I know is my brother Medina. And I said, what is he talking about? He's like, and he starts Googling, stops, you don't know. Then he yells out about something about Pete again. Now, I've never talked to him yet. I didn't even know who he was for a year. I said, what are you talking about? See, I never talked to anybody. They only drugged me. They even told people that. They only used drugs on me to get the so-called truth. No, they drugged me to frame me, honey. That's where all the bruises were coming from and why I was so sick and infected. They were human trafficking me. And he's laughing at me. Stop. She don't know. Like he's some drunken cat on a bar stool. Laughing at me. Dave told Danny, our son, he hired Pete on his own sexual predator. To drug, beat, and rape me and frame me. They should have went to jail the first day. You know, he just confessed he talked to Dave. Okay? Give me a real reason why I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that worked at the Pentagon, died on working under Dick Cheney. Well, I can take you somewhere and leave you. I don't have money to start. Well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. I can do that. The 5,000 month immunity, even when you tell, we'll always put it back as if it never happened. You have that money to live on when you move out. And you can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, oh, she's crazy. He just admitted he talked to the Vegas and Dave. He made fun of me for being framed by some serial rapist, Pete. That Dave said he heard on his own. There was never staying quiet, and the Barberton Norton police already verified it was him. Okay, I'm going to upload this and I'll do a different video for the rest of it.